Right now, it's the best of Groucho. DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, coast to coast, present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life.
Groucho sent me to see the new DeSoto.
Groucho sent me, and I love to drive this car. It's long and low and roomier, so handsome you can see.
It's powerful, and I'm so glad that Groucho sent me. Listen to him when you hear Groucho say,
Go drive the new DeSoto at DeSoto Plymouth dealers today. Here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. If any of them say the secret word, the duck will fly down. Oh, I have the word tonight is street. But I want to interject a note here that we have decided that we have to recognize the fact that there are other quiz shows on the air that are giving away much larger sums than we are. So instead of making the secret word $100, we have decided to make it $101. And each lucky contestant will get $50.50 instead of the customary $50. Okay, Doc. Beat it. Remember that. $50.50 to each contestant. I want to see them top that, any of these. George, who's first?
Well, Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Wanda Smith to be on the show. Her partner is a married man, Mr. Art Kistner. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Wanda Smith and Art Kistner, eh? Wanda, are you married?
Yes, I am.
What sort of work does your husband do?
He works for the Standard Oil Company.
Standard Oil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a pretty big company, isn't it? Where are you from originally, Wanda?
Well, I was born in the swamps near California.
You were born in a slump.
No, the swamps.
In a swamp?
Uh-huh.
Oh, were you an alligator at that time?
No.
Where was this swamp?
In Campbell, Missouri.
In Missouri? They have swamps in Missouri? Gee, I didn't know that. And you're Art Kistner, huh?
Yes, that's right, Groucho.
Where are you from, Art?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, Groucho.
Oh, were you born in a swamp?
No, no. No, I wasn't born in the swamp.
Oh.
I was born along the Ohio River.
Oh. In the river?
No, no. Not in the river.
We got the dampest crowd here tonight we've ever had. Are you married?
Yes, I am, Groucho.
How long have you been married?
29 years.
29 years. Did you know it was going to take that long when you got married?
Oh, I didn't know it would last that long, Groucho.
Oh. Would you have gone into it had you known that?
Well, yeah, I'm glad I did.
You are, huh?
Yes,
Is
I
your
am.
wife listening?
Well, no, I don't know. She may be. But she don't like comedians, Groucho, so she may not be listening.
Well, if she doesn't like comedians, there's no reason why she shouldn't watch this show. Do you have a family, Art?
Yes, I do, Groucho. And I have two daughters. And I call them works of art.
Well, do you regard that as a joke?
I think that's a pretty good joke.
Art, there are big jokes and little jokes, you know. I'd class that one as microscopic. Do you get off many jokes like that?
Oh, yes, I like to tell jokes, Groucho.
Where do you work, Art?
I work in the Hollywood Post Office, Groucho.
Do you know any jokes about the post office?
Oh, yes,
What
yes.
a fool I am, huh?
Yeah, I know quite a
Could you let us rip one off here?
few. Well, I'll tell you about the letter carrier, Groucho. The letter carrier is walking on the street, and a man comes
Is
up
this
to
a
him.
mail carrier? Hey, we're going broke here. You said the secret word, which is street, so you and your partner win $101. Here's
Thank you, Groucho.
$50 and 50 cents for you. Yes, we've raised the
Raise it.
ante on the show. Yeah.
Thank you.
On account of inflation, we've and there's $50 and 50 cents for you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, now let's. All right, now don't come back again, will you? Now, what was this joke you were going to tell about the mail?
The letter carrier is walking on the street, and a man comes up to him and he says, Say, Mac, where's the post office? And letter carrier says, how'd you know my name was Mac? He said, oh, I just guessed it. He said, well, guess where the post office is?
Now I understand why my morning mail comes at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Art, you drop in the dead letter office for a minute. I want to talk to Wanda here. Huh? Wanda, do you have a job, or are you strictly a housewife?
No, I don't have a job yet, but I'm learning to be a barber.
You're going to be a barber?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, I think that's a good trade for a woman. Most women have homicidal tendencies. Where are you learning to be a barber? Do you go to school?
Yes, I go to the American Barber College. And,
A barber college?
Mm-hmm.
Must have some pretty gay blades there.
Yes.
That joke's even smaller than the one he said a minute ago. Would you be willing to place your life in the hands of a lady barber, Art?
Well, I think they ought to make good barbers. They do a lot of trimming of men.
You're sort of the George Gobel of the post office, aren't you? Well, I'd like to go on talking to you two, but I'm sure you're more interested in winning a lot of money, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
So let's play You Bet Your Life. You both understand the rules?
Yes, sir.
Now, you selected the general information quiz, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is, and remember your partners and one answer between you. All right, now, what do you want to start with? You can go anything from 10 to 100.
We'd like to start with $100.
$100, huh? All right, well, what is the capital of the state of Maryland? Now, talk it over.
Annapolis. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Annapolis, Maryland.
That is right. Annapolis, Maryland is right.
Off to a great start. You have $200.
Well, now, what do you want to go for now?
$90. Huh? $90.
Do you know what the capital of the United States is?
Washington, D.C.
No, $400 billion.
Oh.
That'll show you not to be a wise guy around here. Now then, what are you going to go for, 90?
$90.
Who was the ringleader of the mutiny on the Bounty? You must have seen the picture.
Well, in the moving picture, it was a man who took the part. It was the part taken by Clark Gable, but I don't know the name of the character.
You don't know his name?
No, I just know Clark
Well,
Gable.
it was
took
Fletcher Christian. Don't you remember Lawton hollering, Mr. Christian? He did it better than that, but that's an approximation. Of course, he was fatter, too, huh?
You lost half your $200. You now have $100.
All right, now you still got a long ways to go. What are you going to go for, 80?
80.
All right, what place in England is recognized as the prime meridian in establishing standard time?
What place in England?
Yes.
Greenwich.
That's right. Greenwich is right. That's right.
You now have $180.
Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. What are you going to try?
You
Want to go for 70?
$70.
What is the common Latin word that means so be it?
Amen.
Amen is right.
And you wind up with $250.
Now, how did you know that? You go to church every Sunday?
No, but there's a lady comes in the post office every day, and she represents a minister in Hollywood, and every time she comes to the window, she says amen, and we say so be it.
Now, why does she say amen? She's probably praying that she'll get to that window inside of 3 hours. Well, anyway, thanks and good luck to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. George, who's next?
Well, Groucho, before we go on, I have an announcement to make, if I may. Last week, Mrs. Berg, a contestant on our show, said the secret word hand when she answered a question in the musical quiz, I'm an old cowhand. We know all about this by now because of your letters, and we've sent her the $101. Right now, Groucho, I'd like you to meet a young married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Ray Richardson. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $101. It's a common word, something you see every day. Now, let's see. Mr. and Mrs. Ray Richardson, you're an attractive young couple. You look happy and devoted. Are you?
Yes, we are, Groucho.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. When did you have your last fight?
Well, let's see. When was the last time we played bridge?
Last Friday.
Oh, well, then you're not... What'd you do, hit him with a flounder or something, huh? Did you hit him with a fish or anything?
No, I just...
Did you have just words? I mean, you didn't come to blows,
She
huh?
kicked me under the table, Groucho.
She kicked you under the table? And did you remain under that? Huh? What is your first name, Mrs. Richardson? Richardson? I can't keep calling you Mrs. Richardson.
Joyce.
Joyce, huh?
Right.
Oh, that's a nice name. How long have you been married, Joyce?
Nearly 10 months.
You're newlyweds, huh?
Yeah.
And he kicked you under the table already? Well, congratulations, Ray. How are things working out? Is marriage agreeing with you?
Well, I'd say so. I've gained 14 pounds since we've been married. 10 months.
As a rule, it's the other member that gains the weight. And is that why you got married, just to gain weight? You could have had a few banana splits and accomplished the same purpose. You know. Now, how about a family, Ray? Have you given any thought to sons and heirs and that sort of thing, or are you too busy eating?
Well, Groucho,
Have you got a station wagon yet?
we're expecting our first one in February.
Really? In February, huh? Would you like a chair? Huh?
Well, no, thank you, Groucho. I feel just fine.
No, am I, Ray, even in a happy marriage, there are occasionally some small, trivial annoyances. Have you found any in your 10 months of experience?
Well, not many, Groucho, but Joyce does have a couple of little idiosyncrasies.
She has, huh? I thought you were expecting your first one in February. What kind of idiosyncrasies?
Well, see, I was using the automatic washer the other day in the basement, and she had the clothes in it and forgot to put the hoses in the tub, and hence it flooded the whole basement.
She flooded an apartment house, and you call this an idiosyncrasy? Ray, you better watch out. One of her little idiosyncrasies could wipe out the 11 western states. Well, you're a charming couple, and I'd like to continue talking to you, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple won $250, and the secret word is street.
All right, you selected small towns and cities of the United States. I will list 6 cities and towns, all in the same state, and you name the state. Now, which question do you want to start with?
So with that,
70.
70.
$70. All right. Here are the towns and cities: Freehold, Elizabeth, Toms River, Cape May, Collingswood, and Vineland. What is the state?
New Jersey.
That's right, Ray. It's New Jersey.
You now have $170.
Now you have $170. Now, what do you want to try?
80.
Okay, for $80. Here are the towns and cities: Moorchunk, Tunkhannock, Mifflintown, Altoona, Towanda, and Clearfield.
Pennsylvania.
That's right, Pennsylvania.
You now have $250.
Now what are you going to try?
Should we try 90?
90,
90.
60, or 90? Here are the towns and cities: Monte Cristo, Wenatchee, Everett, Colville, Waterville, and Ritzville. What is the state? Everett, Wenatchee, Monte Cristo.
Indiana.
Yep.
No. Well, it's the state of Washington.
You lost half your $250. You now have $125.
You should have had a lead from Everett. All right, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You have $125. Now, what are you going to try? 100?
Let's try it.
100. Okay, 100.
Here are the towns and cities: West Union, Defiance, Steubenville, Van Wert, Gallipolis, and Findlay. What is the state? Steubenville, Defiance, West Union, Findlay, Gallipolis, and Van Wert.
Ohio.
Ohio is right.
$25.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say, George, I've been meaning to ask you, whatever happened to that couple whose house was stolen on People Are Funny?
Oh, Link bought them a new house, as a matter of fact. Mr. Linkletter, I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking
Link.
about the missing link.
No, Link bought them a new house, and
I get a kick out of that show.
I understand also, Groucho, that they're going to have a lady on the show this coming Saturday on NBC who's going to flip a coin 10,000 times to find out which comes up most, heads or tails.
You know, I get a kick out of that show. I must remember to watch it Saturday night. You know, my partner and producer, John Goodell, also produces People Are Funny. He's been crooked all his life, and I guess crime does pay. George, who's next?
Groucho, Miss Tiny Broadwick and Monsieur Edouard Cournand are waiting to talk to you. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word, and you'll divide $101. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Cournand, that's you, huh? What is your first name, Edward? I'll just call you Eddie, huh?
Yes.
Where are you from, Eddie? Kokomo or Kalamazoo?
I'm from Paris. in France.
Paris, Illinois?
No, Paris in France.
Oh, oui, oui. When did you first arrive in this country, Eddie? Last week?
No, in 1923.
1923? You got here before the Pilgrims did. I'll get back to you in a moment, monsieur. Now, Tiny Broadwick, huh? That's you?
That's
Does everybody call you Tiny?
Yes,
Just how tiny are you, Tiny?
5 feet.
5 feet, huh? You only have 2 feet. I don't see. How old are you, Tiny?
63.
63. Well, you're a fine-looking gal. That isn't your real name, is it, Tiny? Haven't you got a name like Helen or Grace or Sam or something like that?
Now, Georgia Brown.
Sweet Georgia Brown, huh? Is Tiny Broadwick a professional name?
Yes.
Oh. Are you an actress?
No,
Well, why do you use a professional name?
I'm a balloon jumper.
You're a balloon jumper?
Mm-hmm. And I'm the first one.
Parachutes, you mean?
Yep.
At 63? Tiny,
Not
I don't know
now.
what kind of vitamins you take, but I'm buying a carload in the morning. All I can do to jump into a hot bath. Aren't you slightly mature for strenuous exercises like parachute jumping?
Oh, I don't do that anymore. I retired in 1922. That was my last parachute jump.
Oh. When did you start jumping?
1908.
1908? Wasn't that pretty dangerous? It must have been dangerous because airplanes weren't even invented in 1908. How do you account for this?
Well, I jumped out of hot air balloons.
How many times have you made a parachute jump?
1,100.
You landed 1,100 times?
That's right.
No wonder you're only 5 feet tall. Every time you grew an inch, you pounded it right back in again. Isn't that an unusual occupation for a woman? I'm acquainted with a lot of women, and offhand, I don't know 50 women who jump out of hot air balloons. Isn't that an unusual occupation, Tiny?
Not in the early days. There were a lot of women doing jumps.
Do you know any women that have jumped out of balloons?
No, but my first acquaintance.
Huh?
That was the first time I met a lady who jumped from a balloon.
Yeah. What do you think of her, huh?
Pretty nice.
Would you like to jump out with her sometime?
No, I was a flyer during the war, but I never liked
You were a
jumping.
flyer during the war?
Yes, I was a flyer.
Did you jump out of airplane?
Never I did. Never had any occasion, and never did.
Oh, well, did you wear a parachute?
Yes, we had a parachute in the plane.
Now, Monsieur Cournand, what brought you to Los Angeles? And don't say a train, because that's an old joke, and we've had enough old jokes on the show tonight. Why did you come to Los Angeles?
I came on business.
Oh, fighter business? Fighter plane business?
No, I'm perfume business. I'm the president of Lanvin.
You're
Lanvin
president of a
Perfume.
what?
Lanvin Perfume.
Lanvin Perfume, huh? And you're president?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I've never heard of Lanvin Perfumes. I don't use perfume myself. I just rub my body with Ham's beer. What do you call your perfume? Maybe I can get some clue from that.
The best known are Arpège and
Arpège?
and Marcine.
Spell that, arpege.
A-R-P-E-G-E.
No, in French, I mean, spell it.
A-R-P-E-G-E.
I thought he was sick to his stomach there. And the other one is my sin?
Marcine, yes.
Well, I have enough trouble with my own sins. Does your perfume drive men crazy?
That is what he intends to do?
You know, we've had a lot of jokes about the post office here tonight, Daddy. Do you know any jokes about the perfume business?
Oh, yes, I have a good one.
Do you?
When I was living...
We could certainly use a good one, Daddy. We could even use a fair one.
Let's call it a fair one.
All right.
And I was living in Paris, and a friend of mine told me a little story about himself. And just when I was going to take the plane back to New York, and he said, tu sais, je suis fiancé, et j'ai demandé à ma fiancée si elle couchait avec une chemise de nuit ou avec un pyjama, et elle m'a dit pas du tout qu'elle dormait avec arpège, tout ce qu'elle portait.
Well, that is a good one, all right. That's a knee slapper if I ever heard one. Boy, I'm going to tell that to the boys at the club tomorrow. That'll kill them, huh? Or vice versa. Oh, I like that joke. Is your perfume expensive, Eddie? If it is, perhaps that's why I haven't heard of it. How much you charge for a gallon of this stuff? Or can you buy it on draft?
No, you cannot buy it on draft, but the price runs from $3 for a per size on arpège up to $500 for 32 ounce.
32 ounce, is that a gallon?
No, it's a quart.
What, it's a quart?
A quart.
$500 a quart?
$500 a quart for arpège.
Well, do they get a nickel back when they return the bottle?
No, they pay 10% tax in addition.
Oh, they pay $550, huh? In Los Angeles, it doesn't make any difference whether you're wearing perfume or kerosene. It all smells like smog anyway. Oh, well, are there really any husbands who are willing to shell out $500 for a bottle of perfume for their wives?
Not for their wife.
Well, you don't have to explain it, monsieur. I've been around. I'll bet you certainly look forward to Mother's Day. Well, it's been a very interesting experience talking to you two, and as a matter of fact, I knew all about my sin and arpège. I was just teasing. Okay, well, now let's play You Bet Your Life.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple is still leading with $250.
Now, you selected larger cities of foreign countries as your category. Remember, the more the question's worth, the harder it is. The big sums are harder, and the little
$60.
sums... $60.
$60.
What is the largest city and chief port of Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires is right.
You now have $160.
Now, what are you going to go for?
Another 60? All right, another
70?
$60.
No. 70, 50, 80?
You can't
Oh, 70, I'm sorry.
So what is the largest city of Canada?
Montreal.
That's right. That's right.
You have $230 now.
70?
Well, you had 70 already. You had a 60. We have
80.
$80. What is the largest city of Norway?
Oslo.
Oslo is right. Tiny, you're pretty lucky there.
You now have $310.
Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, how do you say that in French?
C'est votre dernière chance de battre le couple.
You hear that, George?
Yes.
Remember that for tomorrow, huh? All right, what are you going to go for, 100?
All right.
90? You don't know. I don't want to influence you.
All right, 100.
$100. What is the largest city of Peru?
Lima.
Lima is correct.
And you wind up with $410.
Well, thanks and good luck to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Vive la France!
That means that Monsieur Cunin and Miss Broadwick with $410 in just 1 minute get the chance at the $1,000 question. Here's a winning couple, Groucho. Miss Broadwick and Monsieur Cunin all set for the $1,000 question. Right back in here. Pardon me.
For $1,000, I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. The ballad of Barbara Fritchie and how she displayed the Union flag in defiance of General Stonewall Jackson was written by one of America's best-loved poets. For $1,000, who wrote the ballad of Barbara Fritchie? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Edgar Poe?
No, it's John Greenleaf Whittier. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, they lost the big money, but they did pretty well in the quiz. How much,
Yes, they went to
George?
$410 in the
Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight. Friends, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
Be sure to tune in again next week, same time, same station, for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Don't miss Chrysler Corporation's big television show on another network. And don't forget to listen to Groucho on radio every Wednesday. Brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.